When it comes to interacting with students, Blackboard discussion forums are a great tool to use. They are an essential asynchronous component of online classes and help to build community and social presence. They can be richer and more thought-provoking than face-to-face discussions, since they allow the time needed to create responses and bring research into the conversation. Online discussions can also advance discussions started in the classroom. This type of discussion allows for quiet and shy students who might not participate in class to jump into the conversation online. Several uses of online discussion are class introductions or icebreaker activities. These are great spaces to start building community and get to know the students in your class. Student lounges or question and answer forums. These are spaces that students use to discuss things other than curriculum, like the 5 minutes before and the 5 minutes after class. Weekly class discussions. These are the backbone of asynchronous online learning. Small groups. For larger classes, this is a space for students to feel part of the class without being lost. Guest speaker. Discussions can be set up as spaces to host a guest speaker in your class with links to materials and discussion spaces for students to ask questions. Another tool for interaction are journals. Traditionally, journals are private communication between the instructor and student, but in Blackboard, they can be set to be public as well. Journal writing encourages reflection and engages students to take charge of their learning and feelings. Journals help students make connections between what is important to them, the curriculum, and their world. Potential uses of journals are a reflective space for students to document personal growth throughout the semester and a space to communicate to the instructor where they need help privately. Paper or project space, where students build scaffolded assignments or projects throughout the semester and a private space for feedback. A log, to document clinical experience or record lab results. Groups give students the opportunity to work with each other to break complex tasks into parts and steps, plan and manage time, challenge assumptions, develop communication and critical thinking skills, as well as give and receive feedback. Furthermore, students engaged in cooperative learning show increased achievement compared to students working alone. In Blackboard, the groups tool is robust and includes blogs, discussion boards, email, file exchange, journals, tasks, and wikis. Potential uses for groups are a way to break up a large lecture. If you feel your students are getting lost in a large class, break them up into smaller groups where they can interact with less students. Expert groups. In these small groups, students take different parts of the curriculum and become experts, and then teach their findings to the rest of the class. Case study analysis. This type of group work allows students to take risks and voice their own perspectives in relations to peers, learn how to resolve differences and establish a shared identity before submitting anything for assessment. Traditional group work helps students to build the skills needed to be successful in the real world.
Did you know that combining voice and visual makes people about 3 times more likely to remember your brilliant idea? VoiceThread is a media player that has a highly interactive discussion space built within it. It's a UAlbany licensed tool integrated with our Blackboard learning management system that allows instructors and students to upload images, videos, presentations, and documents with the look and feel of a slideshow. After media is added, instructors and students can record their comments, present their work, ask and answer questions, and critique each other's ideas for an interactive, engaging, ongoing, asynchronous conversation. I encourage you to visit the link on this page, which contains a mini library of short videos demonstrating what a voice thread is, the very cool feature of interactive video commenting, an example of voice thread in a MOOC class from a scientist at MIT, as well as how to comment, create, share, annotate, or otherwise known as doodling, and the assessment feature of comment moderation. So what technology do you need to use VoiceThread? It's important to note that there are only 2 fully supported browsers that work with VoiceThread. You can utilize either Chrome or Firefox. As a general rule of thumb, you should always make sure your browsers are fully up to date. You will need speakers and headphones for audio, as well as a webcam and microphone for recording capability. Should you have a student that needs to utilize a screen reader, there is also a separate HTML platform called VoiceThread Universal. VoiceThread also has machine-generated, fully editable closed captioning that the user has the ability to turn on and off. So now that you have a general understanding of the technology, you might be wondering, what can you do with VoiceThread? You can deliver your lecture materials with voice to prepare students for class, expand upon previously taught materials, or extend those classroom conversations. Think about the possibilities of uploading, sharing, and discussing course materials. VoiceThread can accept over 50 types of media. Now that you've gotten a little taste of what VoiceThread has the capability to do, let's correlate the technology with some pedagogical possibilities. These are some of the most common instructor and student use cases of VoiceThread. You can create interactive mini lectures, create icebreaker activities to become familiar with course activities, hold asynchronous office hours, making it convenient to keep in touch with your students, conduct an interactive syllabus review to save valuable class time, utilize threaded discussions, and conduct interactive debates utilizing images. Utilize it for engaging Meet Your Classmates activity for when you can't be in the classroom setting or set the tone prior to the first night of class. It's also great for presentations and group projects. The variety of commenting options and interactivity allow for instructor feedback via multiple modalities, as well as student group brainstorming about a particular project or task. It's recommended that you start off slowly and choose 2 to 4 class activities for your course. Don't push yourself. Become comfortable with the tool, and keep in mind, as with any new technology, there's a learning curve for both you and your students. I recommend visiting voicethread.com/research to see its impact on teaching and learning. So what's the recipe for success? Well, first and foremost, we recommend planning a semester ahead. Then schedule a consult with EdTech Services to discuss your pedagogical goals and objectives and getting started. Then experiment and become comfortable with the tool, and continue to schedule consults along the way to stay on track and eliminate any technological questions or difficulties. Happy voice threading. Hope to see you soon.
When we think about using technology in teaching, many of us think of Blackboard. whether for online or blended teaching, or simply to post a syllabus, lecture notes, or facilitate paper submissions. While Blackboard is a primary element of the digital learning environment, it can also be linked with numerous other digital learning tools in a seamless way for your students. Many of these tools provide new and different ways in which students can engage with course content and that enable unique learning assessment capabilities. You can create a link within your Blackboard course to selected tools or platforms which can enable roster synchronization, single sign-on, and grade integration. So we can think of Blackboard as the central hub in our digital learning environment, and you can extend it to include a wide-ranging variety of digital learning activities. I encourage you to visit the Ask IT Wiki to learn more about Blackboard extensions, as well as key considerations for employing them. Thank you for watching. We invite you to continue your exploration of the right tools for your class by visiting the Ask IT knowledge base on the ITS website. For further discussion of how technology connects with your course and teaching strategies, we invite you to schedule an appointment at albany.edu/edtech.